When disaster strikes, essential supplies disappear fast, leaving many unprepared. In this video, we'll reveal the top 10 items that vanish first during a crisis. From food and water to critical survival tools, these are the things you need to stock up on now to ensure your safety and readiness. Don't wait until it's too late. Disasters come without warning, and preparation is key. Stay ahead of the crowd, protect your loved ones, and secure these crucial items before they're gone. Watch to the end for actionable tips to help you prepare. Today, let's get started. One last twist on water: life's non-negotiable. Water isn't optional. You can't tough it out. You can't wait and see. Without a reliable water supply, you're looking at dehydration and death within 3 days. And it's not just about drinking. You need water for cooking, hygiene, and if you have pets, for them too. When disaster hits, faucets could stop working, or the supply could be unsafe to use. Are you ready for that? To prepare, you need to store enough water for at least 3 days, but ideally longer. Here's the bottom line. Plan for at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, and if possible, store 2 gallons per person. This covers drinking, minimal hygiene, and maybe rinsing a dish or two. Think of everyone in your household, including pets and even livestock if applicable. A couple of thirsty animals can wipe out your supply fast. Storage matters. Use a mix of containers. Single-serve bottles are portable and good for quick grab-and-go situations, but larger containers like 5-gallon jugs hold more and are easier to store in bulk. If you're feeling crafty, canning jars filled with clean water work too. But don't forget to rotate this stock regularly. Stagnant water isn't safe water. You also need a backup plan for purification. Filters like the Berkey, Alexa Pure, or Sawyer Mini should be staples in your emergency kit. Stock up on purification tablets too. They're cheap insurance for when filtration isn't an option. Even coffee filters can help remove heavy particles before boiling. And yes, you need to know how to boil water on an emergency stove, because clean water could be the difference between staying healthy and succumbing to disease. And don't underestimate alternative sources. Identify nearby ponds, streams, or pools while you still have time. Even rain catchment systems are worth their weight in gold, but relying solely on your surroundings without any prep, that's gambling with your survival. Remember, even untreated water sources can run dry if everyone else has the same idea. If you think water is an inconvenience to stock up on, try going without. You won't last long. 2. Paper products. Panic in the aisles. Toilet paper. It seems so trivial until you can't find any. Remember the chaos of the pandemic when stores were stripped clean in hours? That will happen again. When people panic, toilet paper and other paper goods fly off shelves. If you don't want to resort to scrubbing with leaves or rags, prepare now. Toilet paper is the obvious one, but don't overlook other essentials like flushable wipes, baby wipes, paper towels, and tissues. These are all items you use daily without thinking about, but in a crisis, you'll regret it if you don't have enough. Stock more than you think you'll need, because during an emergency, consumption goes up, not down. Stress, hygiene concerns, and the inability to restock quickly will burn through supplies faster than normal. Store your paper goods strategically. Don't cram everything into one pile where it could get damaged by water, pests, or mildew. Use plastic containers or clear bins to keep them safe and visible. Rotating stock isn't as crucial here, but keep an eye out for bulk sales and grab what you can when you can. What happens if the stores are empty and your stash runs out? Unfortunately, you'll need a plan B. Reusable options are a smart move. Cloth handkerchiefs, washable rags, and portable bidets can save you when paper products are gone. You might not like the idea, but necessity trumps comfort in a disaster. However, reusables require their own preparation. You'll need a way to clean and sanitize them. Boiling water with bleach works, but that's useless if you don't have water stockpiled in the first place. See point 1. Paper products might seem less critical than water, but they're tied to health and hygiene. Poor sanitation is a fast track to illness in an emergency, and without proper supplies, you're risking infection and discomfort. Power up or get left in the dark. Batteries are the unsung heroes of survival gear. When the grid goes down, so too does your access to power. Flashlights, lanterns, radios, and other emergency devices become useless hunks of plastic without batteries. No power, no communication. No light, no safety. It's that simple. Here's the deal with batteries. First, you'll never have enough if you don't stock up now. Bulk buying is not just smart, it's essential. Look for packs of AA, C, and D batteries. You'll need them. And don't kid yourself into thinking you're covered if you have a few spares lying around. Once they're gone, they're gone. Instead, make it a habit to rotate your stock. Keep the most current ones at the front and use the old ones first. This way your stash stays fresh and reliable. Feeling fancy? Good. Invest in rechargeable batteries and a high-quality charging system. Pair those with a solar setup and suddenly you're off the hamster wheel of constant stockpiling. Pro tip? Outdoor solar pathway lights can be rigged up to recharge AA batteries in a pinch. Creativity like this could set you apart when no one else has solutions. If you're relying on battery-powered survival gear, don't just store batteries. Test your devices now. Figure out which drains power, like water through a sieve, and plan accordingly. Smart prepping is about knowing your equipment as much as stockpiling supplies. The takeaway? Batteries keep your emergency systems alive. Without them, you're fumbling in the dark, cutting yourself off from vital information and potentially putting your safety on the line. Don't be foolish. Stock up, recharge, and ensure you're ready for the long haul. Or heal or hope. Stock medical supplies now. The truth about emergencies? You're on your own. If you think pharmacies or hospitals will be operational the way they are now, you're living in a dream. During a disaster, medical care could be non-existent, delayed, or hopelessly overwhelmed. This is why stockpiling medication and first aid supplies is not a luxury. It's a survival imperative. Start with the basics. Over-the-counter medications like painkillers, antacids, and allergy relief are your first line of defense when minor issues arise. Then hit the prescription meds. No one's saying you need an underground bunker of pills, but you do need enough to get through an extended crisis. Ask your doctor about long-term options or extra refills well before you need them. And when it comes to expiration dates, take a deep breath. Most medications are still effective long after their label says otherwise. Yes, you should rotate your stock, but don't toss out something that could save your life because of a date stamp. It's not just about pills, though. A sturdy, comprehensive first aid kit is your new best friend. Bandages, antiseptic ointments, splints, and medical-grade scissors should be in every household, period. Got that? Good. Now go a step further. Educate yourself. Understand how to use these items. Because what good is a triangular bandage if you have no clue how to apply it? But wait, there's more. When the pharmacy aisles are empty, understanding alternative remedies becomes a game changer. Herbal and natural solutions can fill in some gaps when supplies run dry. Take the time to research, learn, and stock up on essentials like ginger for nausea or garlic with antimicrobial properties. Build a library with reliable reference materials on herbal medicine and keep supplies to make your own remedies. The tools won't help if you don't know how to use them. Here's the harsh reality. Without meds and medical supplies, small issues become big ones. A minor infection can spiral into life-threatening territory. Pain becomes unbearable and injuries go untreated. Stock up now, or prepare to pay the price later. 5. For the sake of your baby's comfort and survival. If you're a parent, you know babies aren't forgiving when their basic needs aren't met. They cry, they fuss, and they won't patiently wait for your excuses. Baby supplies are among the first items to disappear from store shelves when disaster strikes. And they're not optional items. They're absolute must-haves. Start by stockpiling formula, diapers, wipes, baby food, and pacifiers. Even if you're breastfeeding, it's wise to have a stash of formula as a backup. Natural disasters, pandemics, or extended power outages can disrupt your usual feeding routines. You need to prepare. Have at least a few weeks' worth of supply tucked away. Diapers are an obvious priority. Running out during an emergency will have you scrambling and regretting it instantly. Disposable diapers are easy but bulky to store, so consider reusable cloth diapers as an alternative. Pro tip: always buy the next size up. Babies grow fast, and there's nothing worse than storing diapers your baby outgrows. Don't forget wipes. Whether disposable or reusable, they'll be indispensable. You'll need them for more than just diaper changes. Think sticky hands, dirty surfaces, and unplanned messes. If you want to be extra resilient, include a plan for cleaning reusable items. Boiling them or using bleach can keep everything sanitary even without regular utilities. If you depend on store-bought baby food, have a good stockpile of jars or pouches. But long-term thinkers know homemade purees are cost-effusive and simple to prepare ahead. Freeze small portions and rotate your stock. You'll thank yourself later when shelves are stripped bare. When it comes to baby supplies, the golden rule is simple: over-prepare. What seems excessive today will feel like a lifeline tomorrow when you can't just run to the store. 6. The fight to keep food on the table. When things go south, hunger sets in faster than you think. Food is one of the first resources to disappear, and you can't survive without it. Don't rely on blind luck or relief efforts. Stock up now, or you'll find yourself in a desperate and avoidable situation. The key to food prep is diversifying your stockpile. Start with perishables like milk, bread, and eggs, but don't rely on them entirely. These items will spoil in days without refrigeration, so you need alternatives. Powdered milk, bread mixes, and egg substitutes will keep you covered when fresh options vanish. For long-term sustenance, focus on non-perishables. Build a stash of canned meats, soups, pasta, peanut butter, beans, and rice. These foods are nutrient-dense and have extended shelf lives. Peanut butter, for example, is a calorie-packed lifesaver you can eat straight from the jar. Canned goods like tuna, chicken, and veggies are not glamorous, but they work when you just need meals. Here's the kicker. Stock your pantry gradually but consistently. Start with what you eat regularly and expand into staples like rice and beans. Don't forget bread alternatives, crackers, flatbreads, tortillas, and biscuits. Store longer and take up less space than fresh bread. Another tip? Rotate your stock. Use the oldest items first and replace them with fresh ones. It keeps your stash viable while avoiding waste. And when storing food, think about how you'll cook it. If power is out, emergency stoves or campfire setups will be lifesavers. Plan beyond just having cans. Figure out how to use them. Ultimately, food preparation isn't just about survival. It's about control and security. When store shelves are empty and trucks aren't coming, your pantry will determine whether you thrive or suffer. Waiting for disaster to hit is a gamble you're guaranteed to lose. Don't roll the dice. Start stocking up now. There's no time to waste. 7. Bleach and disinfecting wipes aren't just for clean freaks. Sure, bleach and disinfecting wipes sound like items for keeping things tidy, but when a crisis hits, they become much more than that. They're your first line of defense against disease, contamination, and unclean living conditions. If you want to stay healthy and avoid getting sick when everything else is falling apart, you need them. Bleach isn't just for keeping your whites bright. It's vital for disinfecting water and killing germs on surfaces. The key is understanding how to use it safely and effectively. Plain, unscented household bleach can purify your water when safe drinking water isn't available. Just a few drops per gallon can make all the difference. But here's the catch. Not all bleach stays good forever. Its shelf life is only 6-9 months, so you'll need to store no more than a 6-month supply and rotate it regularly. For long-term storage, Pool Shock, calcium hypochlorite, is a game changer. This powder turns into bleach when mixed with water, giving you a more reliable and longer lacinating option. Disinfecting wipes are also a hot commodity in an emergency. They're convenient and ready to use when clean water is limited, but they're bulky to store and will run out quicker than you think. A sensible alternative: combine bleach with rags or cloths. Not only can they be reused if washed properly, but you'll also have endless cleaning potential for counters, bathrooms, and even doorknobs. Plan ahead for how you'll clean and disinfect reusable cloths, such as boiling them in hot water or using more bleach. When disasters hit, hygiene isn't optional. Germs thrive in chaos, and illnesses can spread like wildfire. Bleach and disinfecting solutions are your weapons against contamination. Stock up, store effectively, and don't wait until you're elbow deep in a disaster to learn just how essential these products really are. 8. Generators are the lifeline you'll wish you had. When the power goes out, you don't just lose light. You lose your refrigerator, your heating system, your communication devices, and even medical equipment you or loved ones may rely on. Without power, even simple tasks turn into challenges and desperation sets in fast. Enter generators. They're not a luxury for people with extra cash, they're a lifesaver when the grid fails. Investing in a generator is one of the smartest moves you can make. A basic portable generator can power essential appliances like your fridge to keep food from spoiling, lights to keep your home secure, and chargers to keep your devices operational. If you're truly prepping for a long-term power outage, a larger, whole-house generator may be worth considering. These can keep more systems running and give you something close to normalcy in a disaster scenario. But with traditional generators come some concerns. They require fuel, which may not always be available during long-term emergencies. That's where solar generators and power banks come in. Solar-powered systems are quieter, safer for indoor use, and don't rely on a dwindling fuel supply. Sure, they cost more up front, but their long-term reliability makes them worth every penny. While generators are fantastic, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You need to prepare for no-power scenarios as well. That means stocking up on manual tools, hand-cranked flashlights, and items like battery-powered fans. The more versatile your plan, the less you'll panic when things don't go as expected. But here's the blunt truth about generators and power backup systems. They're gone almost immediately when disaster strikes. Everyone who ignored the warnings will storm stores in a frenzy to grab whatever is left. If you wait until the outage happens, you're out of luck. Right now, while the world is still calm, is the time to make this move. Research your options, buy what fits your needs, and run through how to use it effectively before an emergency. Don't underestimate the importance of power. A generator can mean the difference between surviving comfortably or struggling in the dark. If you're not prepared, you're betting everything on the hope the power comes back quickly. Spoiler alert, it rarely does. 9. Fuel is the lifeblood of survival. Fuel is critical during a crisis. Think about it. Without fuel, how do you power a generator, get out of a dangerous area in your car, or keep a cooking stove going to make a meal? The short answer is, you don't. Fuel disappears fast when disaster hits, and those who didn't plan ahead will quickly find themselves in very real trouble. You need to take a hard look at your fuel storage situation now. Start by stocking up on basic fuel canisters, kerosene, and gasoline. But don't just hoard it and forget it. Fuel has limits. Over time, it degrades and loses effectiveness. To avoid wasting your stockpile, use fuel stabilizers to extend its shelf life. And always rotate your supply. Use the oldest fuel first and replace it with fresh stock to ensure you're never left with an unusable resource. Your car is just as important as your generator. Keep your gas tank at least half full at all times. Disasters don't send you a save the day. When they strike, gas stations will have mile-long lines, and rationing could begin within hours. If your tank is too low to get you where you need to go, you're stuck. It's a preventable mistake, but most people don't think ahead. For long-term emergencies, think beyond gas and kerosene. Alternatives like propane and wood-burning stoves can keep you cooking and warm when traditional fuels are scarce. Whatever you choose, have backups for your backups, because running out isn't an option. The moral here is simple. Without fuel, your survival plan doesn't work. 10. Self-defense supplies are non-negotiable. When society breaks down, safety doesn't just happen by default. It's something you'll have to secure yourself. Stores emptied of food, fuel shortages, and rising tensions create desperate people, and desperate people do desperate things. Having the means to protect yourself and your family isn't paranoia, it's realism. Ammo and self-defense tools are among the first supplies to vanish during disasters. If you wait until you need them, you're already too late. Stock up now, not later. Build a stash of ammunition for any firearms you own. Even if you think you won't use it, the truth is clear. If it comes down to lawlessness, you'll be glad you prepared. Guns aren't the only option either. Alternatives like pepper spray, tasers, and even baseball bats offer protection when tensions boil over. Storing these items is one thing, but knowing how to use them is another. Owning a firearm, for example, without training is a recipe for disaster. Learn how to handle, maintain, and store your weapons responsibly. This isn't just about your safety, it's also about those around you. Defensive tools in untrained hands do more harm than good. Seek professional training, understand the laws in your area, and ensure you're both prepared and legal. However, it's not all about weapons. Being prepared for self-defense doesn't mean you're looking for trouble. It means you're ready if trouble finds you. Strengthen your home's security by investing in better locks, motion sensor lights, and even simple measures like trimming shrubs near windows to reduce cover for potential intruders. Have a plan for emergencies. Know when it's better to defend your ground or relocate to a safer spot. One hard truth stands out. When disaster strikes, people scramble. Supplies vanish, tensions rise, and crime spikes. Don't kid yourself that it'll all be fine. If you aren't prepared to defend yourself and the people you care about, you're leaving it up to chance. And in a crisis, luck is the last thing you want to rely on. General tips for crisis preparation. Stop waiting and start now. When a crisis hits, unprepared people turn into panicked crowds fighting over scraps. It's ugly, chaotic, and completely avoidable if you just plan ahead. Preparing for disaster isn't about paranoia, it's about practicality. Below are 2 life-saving tips to get you ready before it's too late. Don't just think about them, do them. Because the only thing worse than a disaster is realizing you could have been ready and weren't. Avoid panic buying. Stop playing catch-up. Panic buying is what everyone resorts to when they've ignored basic preparation. This is why one day the shelves are stocked, and the next everything important, from food to toilet paper, is gone. It's a predictable nightmare. The shelves are empty, the lines are endless, and the people are impatient. Or worse. If you want to avoid being part of this chaos, stop waiting for disaster to strike. Start preparing in advance. The key is strategic stockpiling. Build your emergency stash slowly over time. Buy a little extra on each grocery trip instead of trying to grab everything last minute when a storm is brewing or the news reports an incoming crisis. Spread the cost out and avoid financially straining yourself. It's far better to have what you need tucked away long before crowds rush to strip store shelves bare. Here's another overlooked tip. Don't just focus on common crisis items. During the pandemic, it wasn't just food, but items like yeast, flour, and cleaning products that became impossible to find. Be thorough and prioritize essentials like water, food, hygiene products, and anything else you can't do without for weeks or months. Panic buying is pure chaos, and it breeds desperation. You can avoid that stress entirely by thinking ahead. Be proactive, not reactive. Think outside the box. Creativity will save you. If you're only shopping for disaster supplies at big box retailers, you're doing it wrong. When things get crazy, those stores are the first places to be looted clean. Instead, think outside the box and widen your options. Exploring less obvious places can help you find vital supplies when everyone else is staring at empty shelves. Here's a solid strategy. Hit up feed stores or farm supply shops for bulk food, grain, and even alternative fuel options. They're often stocked with items city dwellers don't think to look for, meaning you'll avoid the competition. Craft stores aren't just for before-school art projects. Many stock sewing supplies, candles, and even basic tools. Similarly, marine or RV stores carry compact, long-lasting items like portable stoves, water purification systems, or makeshift shelters. And you won't have to fight your neighbor over them. The other half of thinking outside the box is looking for alternatives. Yes, you want items like bleach, wipes, and hand sanitizer, but there are always substitutes. For example, pool shock can replace bleach for water purification, and vinegar works as a multi-purpose cleaner. Multi-purpose items should also be at the top of your list. Stocking up on items that can serve 2 or 3 purposes saves both space and money. Preparation isn't just about buying more, it's about buying smarter. When disaster comes knocking, your flexibility, creativity, and foresight will make all the difference.